This is Radha Krishna, lecturer in computer science, Chalmers Degree College, Palapur. Today, we are going to discuss software engineering concepts. This is from final year BSc Computer Science, 5th semester syllabus. Before discussing software engineering, first let us see what is a software. A software is set of program. A program is set of instructions. For every computer, we have to provide instructions. As per the instructions given, the computer will work. Without instructions, our computer may not work. So, group of these instructions is called as a program, and group of these programs is called as a software. There are so many softwares in computer speed. In all those softwares, there are two important categories. Those are system software and application software. System software is very, very important for computer. This behaves like a manager to the computer. It manages the important resources of the computer. Important resources means memory, disk drives, printers, and other peripherals. So this system software manages all the peripherals, all the resources of the computer. It behaves like a manager to the computer. It plays very important role in computer functioning. But this system software cannot be used for our day-to-day application. It is used to maintain the computer in a proper way. For our day-to-day application, we have to use application software. Application software can be used for our daily transactions, for our daily work, for our office work, for our business work. Again, these application softwares are two types. Some are ready-made application software and some are tailor-made software. Ready-made application software will be developed prior and it will be released to market. If it suits to anybody, then they will purchase the software, they will install in their computer and they will use it. It is not specially designed for a particular organization. Microsoft Office is the best example for ready-made application software. This Microsoft Office can be used by a lawyer. This Microsoft Office can be used by a doctor, can be used by a student. So, the software can be used by different fields, different people. Such software is called as ready-made application software. On the other hand, we have another type of software, tailor-made software. This tailor-made software will be designed specially for a particular organization. As per the requirements, the software will be designed. For example, if a bank wants to automate all their branches, then they will contact a software company. They will give all the details to the software company, their transactions, their business, their operations, all those details they will provide to the software company. Then the software company will analyze and develop a special software specially for that bank only. That software will be used by the bank only. It cannot be used by some other organization. Like that, if a software is specially designed for a particular organization, then that software is called as tailor-made software. This software development is a very lengthy procedure. We have to take much more precautions while designing the software. The software development will be discussed with the help of software development life cycle. Entire software development from beginning to ending will be discussed in software development life cycle. Because software development, while designing a software, we must take much more precautions. If any mistake occurs, it affects the company, it affects the client. So, we must take much more precautions. So to develop the software, some principles are designed, some processes are designed. As per the principles and processes only, we must design the software. All these principles and procedures will be explained in software engineering. Engineering means scientific principles. So if we follow these scientific principles, we will get a qualitative, effective, efficient software. So how to develop a software? These steps we will discuss in software development life cycle. Now we will see different stages in software development life cycle. Software development life cycle contains the following stages: communication, requirements gathering, feasibility study, system analysis, software design, coding, testing, integration, implementation, operations and maintenance. In software development life cycle, the first stage is communication. Means in this stage, the client approaches the software company. He will give all the details about his company, about his transactions, about his requirements, about the existing system going on in that company. And they will conclude, they will decide some terms and conditions also. So all this procedure, contacting the software company, providing the company details, this entire procedure will be performed in this communication stage. After completion of this communication stage, we have another stage, that is requirements gathering. This is very, very important. In this stage, the client company will give the requirements to software company. What are the requirements they want in the software? They have to provide details regarding the existing transactions and what are the future needs, what are the reports they want. So all the requirements client have to provide to software company. Then software company will write all these requirements, will record all these requirements given by client, and they will analyze these requirements. After gathering all the requirements, they will go for next stage. The next stage is feasibility study. In this stage, they will check whether the proposed software is feasible to the company or not. In this feasibility study phase, they have to check whether it is economically feasible, whether the software, the proposed software is economically feasible, whether the proposed software is technically, operationally feasible to the company or not. So, this feasibility study is also another important stage. In this stage, they have to check whether it is suitable to the company or not, whether the proposed software is suitable to the company or not. In this stage, if any problems raised, any doubts raised, those must be solved, those must be overcome. After rectifying all the problems in this stage, they will go for next stage. After completion of feasibility study, the next stage is system analysis. In this stage, the developer finalizes a planning how to develop the software, in which model they want to develop the software. A roadmap will be designed in this stage. In this analysis stage, they will analyze the impact of the software on the company, the impact of using the software on the client company. All this analysis will be performed in this system analysis stage. In this stage, a process model also identified, in which model they want to design the software. After completion of this analysis stage, they will go for system design. In this stage, they will design different databases, metadata, data dictionaries, and the software company will draw some data flow diagrams which shows the flow of data from which department, from which database it flows to another database. Data flows from one area to another area, how data flows, and what are the elements in the company, what are the elements they are going to use in the software. All these will be explained using different diagrams. DFD, which is called a data flow diagrams, will be used. Context diagrams, ER diagrams, entity relation diagrams. Like that, they use different diagrams to explain the proposed system. After completion of this phase, the developers will go for next phase, that is coding. In this stage, the developer may use one or more different languages. Using these languages, they develop different programs. They write different statements. After completion of this coding stage, they will go for testing stage. In testing stage, the developed coding will be verified for errors. If any error found, it must be rectified. For testing, there are so many algorithms available. There are so many testing tools available. Using those testing tools, they will check whether the designed software, whether the designed program is error-free or not. After completion of this testing, after rectifying all the errors in testing, the developer will go for next stage, that is integration. While designing, the developer creates different programs, different library files. In this implementation stage, he will integrate. In this integration stage, he will integrate all the programs, all the library files as a single unit. After completion of this integration stage, we will get software as a single unit. After completion of this integration, the developer will go for next stage, that is implementation. In this implementation, the software must be installed in client machine, in client side. After installing the software in client side, again it must be verified whether the software is error-free or not, whether the software is working properly in client side or not. It must be verified. In this implementation, they have to install several extra tools to support the software. Like that, the developer will install the software, developer software in client side. He will make some settings. After completing all these, again he will check for errors also. Whether the proposed software is portable to the company site or not, it must be verified. All these will be verified in this implementation stage. Finally, after implementation, they have to go for the last stage, operations and maintenance. In this operations and maintenance stage, the developer will provide maintenance for a particular period to the client company, because the client persons may not have knowledge about the design software. They may not have knowledge about the technology used. They may face so many problems while using the software in company. So, the developer have to provide some support to the company for a particular period. They have to rectify problems faced by client for a particular period. Like that, they have to provide some maintenance also. In this operations and maintenance stage, the developer will provide some manuals also to the client. These manuals includes how to use the software. These manuals contains information how to use the software, how to rectify problems if any raised. So all these details must be included in the manual, and that manual will be given to the client. the client will use the manual to use the software. Like that, by completing from beginning to ending, by working at different stages, the software will be developed. This entire procedure will be called as software development life cycle. Software process models. Software can be designed in different ways. There are several scientific ways designed. Several ways are identified. These ways are called as different models. Each model suits for a particular organization. As per the requirements and as per the organization details, we have to design, we have to finalize which model is suitable for developing the software. A particular model will be suitable for a particular company. So the developer must decide which model is suitable for that company. Today, we will discuss what are different models, what are different software process models. There are several software process models. The following are the software process models: waterfall model, prototype model, V model, Big Bang model, iterative model, RAD, and spiral. The first model in software process models is waterfall model. Please observe this diagram. This diagram contains all the stages that we discussed in software development life cycle. That means waterfall model contains all the stages of software development life cycle. This model is suitable, is most suitable when the requirements are well known. This is most suitable when the proposed system is very simple. This is called waterfall model because the developer can go to next stage, from one stage to another stage, only when a particular stage is completed, the previous stage is completed. When a stage is completed, then only the developer can go to next stage. After complete of the stage, only the developer will go to next stage, like that. It is not possible to move any backward in this model. If the developer found any problem in previous stages, it's not possible to move back. Water falls from top to bottom only. It never goes from bottom to back. That's why this model is called as waterfall model. This model also contains some advantages and having some disadvantages also. These are the advantages and disadvantages of this waterfall model. Please observe. Advantages of waterfall model. This model is simple and easy to understand. In this model, phases are processed and completed one at a time. Phases do not overlap. Waterfall model work well for smaller projects where requirements are very well understood. Disadvantages of waterfall model are: once the application is in testing stage, it's very difficult to move back and it's not possible to change in previous stages. In this model, the risk is very high. It is not suitable for complex projects. Another process model is prototype model. Please observe the diagram. In this prototype model, the developer and the customer meet, they will discuss the requirements and they will identify the known visible requirements. As per the known visible requirements, they will design a model that is called as quick design. This quick design can also be called as a prototype. After refining the prototype, by observing and studying the prototype, they will identify some other requirements. They will apply those requirements on the prototype. Then another design will be generated. Again, on that generated design, they will purify, they will analyze, and they will identify some other requirements. Like that, finally, they will create a model. The finally created model can be used as a final model for designing the software. So, this prototype model can be used to identify requirements. This prototype model is also contains some advantages and disadvantages. Please study these advantages and disadvantages of prototype model. Advantages of prototype model. Users can also interact in software development. Errors can be detected much earlier. Quick user feedback is available, linking to better solution. Missing functionality will be identified easily. The RAD model, Rapid Application Development Model. This is another software process model. This rapid application development model is an incremental software process model. An incremental software development process model in which rapid development is achieved by using component based constructions. If the requirements are well understood and the project is constrained, the RAD process model enables the developer to create a fully functionally software development, a fully functionally software within a short period of time. That is maybe 60 to 90 days. This RAD model can be observed as per the diagram. Please observe this diagram. In this RAD model, several components will be modeled. We have to use several modeling methods. Those are business modeling, data modeling, process modeling, application generation, testing, and turnover. Let us discuss each one. What is business modeling? In this business modeling, we have to decide what information flows. There are some questions to be answered in this modeling. What information flows? From where it flows? Who generates the information? Who processes it? Who uses it? All these details must be answered. All these questions must be answered in this business modeling stage. After completion of this, another modeling must be executed. That is data modeling. Based on the details gathered in business modeling, we have to work out with data modeling. In this data modeling, several data objects will be identified. What are the databases we require? What are the tables we require? That means what are the entities we require? What are its attributes? All these details must be identified. This helps the developer in creating very better and very qualitative databases. In this, databases must identify their constraints and their tables. That is, these can also be used with the help of database terminologies. These can be termed as entities, relations, attributes, and relations between these entities, relations between these attributes. All these will be modeled in this data model. And after completion of this, another modeling will be performed. That is process modeling. What is a process modeling? We'll gather some details. We'll gain some details from data modeling. Using those details, we have to work out in this process model. The outputs came from data model will be used as inputs in process modeling. In this process modeling, several processes will be created. That is to add, delete, modify, display, sets operations on these databases. So in this process model, we have to create several processes which can handle several operations, which can maintain several operations on the databases, on the data objects. That is process modeling. And another stage is application generation. In this application generation, the developer need to develop several programs. For developing these programs, he will use fourth generation languages instead of third generation languages. There is a difference between these two generation languages. In this RAD model, the developer will use fourth generation languages. The main advantage in these languages is everything is readily prepared in these languages. We need not write much more programs, much more code for everything. For all the general concepts, for all the required topics, for all the problems, there will be solutions in these languages. Simply, we have to use the existing ready-made items in these languages. So, these fourth generation languages will be used, that is to create applications. So, that is another stage which is called as application generation stage. And last and final one, last stage in this rapid model is testing and turnover. For every project, for every software, we must perform some testing also. But here, the testing is very important. At the same time, it's very easy also. Why it is very easy in rapid model? Because in rapid model, we use languages which contains several programs, which contains several libraries already prepared, already verified. We'll use already executed and verified programs in these languages. Using fourth generation languages, we are using existing programs only. We are not creating new ones. So these programs are already verified, already debugged. Simply you are calling those programs, you are calling those procedures into our project. So testing time will be decreased because you need not test already tested item. So in this method, testing time will be decreased. This RAD model is having some drawbacks also. Please follow the drawbacks on the screen. For large Another process model is iterative model. Please observe this diagram. In this, work will be performed in iterative manner. That is, this model leads the software development process in iterations. In this, first, as per the SDLC rules, as per the SDLC stages, some software will be developed. After completion of this software, again the same procedure will be applied on the software, on the developed software. This will be continuously executed iteratively. The same process can be explained like the software is first developed on very small scale and all the steps are followed. Then on every next iteration, more features and modules are designed, are added, coded, tested. Every cycle produces a software which is complete in itself. Like that, after completion of a particular phase, again the same procedure will be applied on the software. Thus, another software will be created, another software will be designed. After each iteration, the management team can work on risk management. That is, in every stage, what are the risks that may be arise, and they will prepare for next iteration. After completion of every stage, after completion of every phase, the management will check for mistakes, the management will check for risks. After rectifying all this, then they will prepare for next iteration. Because the cycle includes a small partition of whole software process. This is iterative model. Spiral model. The spiral model is an evolutionary software process model that combines the iterative nature of prototype model and linear sequential model. It provides the potential for rapid software development of incremental versions of the software. By applying this model, software is developed in series of incremental releases. That is, during early iterations, the incremental release may be a prototype model, and during later iterations, it is increasingly more complete versions of engineered system will be produced. The spiral model is divided into number of framework activities or task regions. These can also be called as task regions. These are nearly from 3 to 6 will have. Let us discuss each task region, what that region contains, what is the activity or task will be performed in that region. First, once again, you please observe this spiral model diagram. So, the following will be the task regions in spiral model. First one is customer communication, planning, risk analysis, engineering, construction and release. Let us see which region explains what is the importance, what is its concept. First one, customer communication. In this region, we'll have some things. What are the things we have in this region? In this, things are required to establish effective communication between developer and customer. These are available in this customer communication region. And what about another region? That is what planning. In this planning region, tasks are included. Which tasks are included in this region? Tasks are included, those tasks are required to define resources, timeliness, and other project related information. These will be included in planning region. And another region is there as per our diagram. Risk analysis. What this reasoning contains? In this, task required to assess both technical and management risks. In this risk analysis reason, will have tasks that are about technical task and about management risk. Technical risk and management risk. All these risk details will be included in this risk analysis reason. And another reason is there. Please observe the diagram. Please forward and observe the diagram. In this engineering reason, tasks required to build one or more representations of the application. These will be included in engineering reason. And the last reason that contains construction and release. What that reason contains? This reason contains tasks required to construct, test, install, and provide user support. These details will be included in this construction and release reason. Like that, spiral model contains several regions from the inner spiral to the outer spiral. That is, from core of the spiral to the outer of the spiral, the entire software development process will be explained. Once again, let us discuss how we can explain the spiral diagram. Please observe the diagram again. Once again, please observe the diagram. Now, I am going to explain spiral model diagram. Please observe the diagram. In this, the software engineering team moves around the spiral in clockwise direction, beginning from the core. The first circuit occurs around the spiral might result in the development of product specification. Subsequent passes around the spiral might be used to develop a prototype. Each time, through planning reason, results in adjustment to the project plan. Also, based on feedback derived from customer evaluation, adjustment in the number of iterations also occurs. Like that, by moving from core to outer line, the project members will move from core to outer by following all the steps. This is spiral model. Another process model is V model. The main drawback in waterfall model is it is not possible to move to the back stage. When a particular stage is completed, when it is verified, when it is finite, then we have to go for next stage. If the developer observes any problem in the previous stage, it is not possible to move backward in the waterfall model. So this is the main problem in waterfall model. To overcome this problem, V model is identified. In V model, in every stage, there will be testing. Suppose if you go for requirement stage, after identifying all the requirements, these will be analyzed for perfection. These will be tested. In every stage, there will be testing. Suppose if you go for coding, in coding stage also we will have testing. If you go for feasibility, in the stage also we will have testing. Like that, in V model, in every stage we will test it. So this overcomes problems raised in waterfall model. Please observe the diagram. Another process model is Big Bang model. This is the simplest one. It requires less planning, lots of programming and funds. As scientists says, after a big bang, number of galaxies, stars and planets evolved. Like that, if you put lots of funds, programming together, then we'll get a best software. This model is not suitable for large projects. This is suitable for small projects only. It is most useful for learning and experimenting. Please observe the Big Bang model.